We live in a crazy world these days where you can pretty much get anything you want off your phone. I can pull this thing up and open up any app and get information instantly. You're probably watching this YouTube video on your phone right now through your YouTube app. So it's pretty crazy how we can do this stuff. But I think a lot of people don't realize what goes behind the build of these apps. There's a whole prototyping phase, there's a whole wireframing phase, there's design, there's development, there's Q&A, there's all these different components that people don't really understand. And I think I want to help you guys understand what goes behind the design behind an app. So today I want to just sort of scrape the surface of designing an app in Sketch and sort of getting you familiar with some of the tools and just basic fundamental principles of layout. So let's go ahead and jump into Sketch. All right, so I've got Sketch open here, and as you can see, it looks a little bit different than Photoshop if that's what you're used to designing in. We've got a lighter interface here, different kind of look and feel, and our layers are on the left, so that's a little bit strange if you're used to Photoshop. Let's go ahead and get started here. So let's go to File, New from Template, and we're just going to open up this iOS UI design just to sort of have as a reference while we're designing our app. There's a lot of these elements that are already kind of designed for you that exist in your typical iPhone, iOS kind of screens. So it's good to have this open as we design different things and kind of just use it as a reference for sizing. And we might need to pull in one of these for one of the pages in our app. So just kind of have this handy, might come in use later. So let's go to File, New, and let's make a new artboard. So if we go to Insert, we go to Artboard, we're going to click on our iPhone 7 size right here. And that put in a screen sideways. So let's change the orientation with this little guy. And there. So this is basically like an iPhone 7 sized screen. So we're going to design on top of this. All right, what do we want to make our app about? That's the question. Let me look around my room for some inspiration. I see a camera. I see some coins. I see a stick of deodorant. We're definitely not going to do our app about deodorant. Oh, there's a cactus on my nightstand. Let's do that. Let's do a cactus app. I don't know. I don't have the best ideas, but we're just going to roll with this. So let's go ahead and insert some text. So insert text. And let's just type cactus. Or maybe cacti. Is cacti plural for cactus? And then a period. Yeah, I think it is. So cacti. That sounds more like an app anyways. Now we want to figure out what a good spot color would be for this app. So maybe we can actually make it sort of like a cactus color. So if I grab this little period, and Sketch gives you some global colors to work with from the beginning. So we'll just use this this teal. That's cool, cacti. Now let's see, let's go, I usually go to Pexels to get some free stock images. So definitely check this place out if you want some really quick kind of placeholder imagery. Let's do cactus. There we go. See, we're getting some good photos. I kind of want to do an image in the background here. So this would be the app kind of splash page where you're getting started. So let's grab one of these photos. I like this one. We'll just go ahead and copy this. Thanks Pexels for the photos. Go back to Sketch and we'll just paste this in there. There we go. So you want a nice soft focus kind of not too distracting image, so we can throw it in the back. So basically this bitmap layer is our image, so we can just call this image, and then here's our top cacti logo. Now I want to make this white so it stands out more, so I'm just going to select this part, click the color over here, and go to white. And that's looking cool. I think I need to darken this image though so that this can be a little bit more legible. So let's grab, if you click on the top where the name of this is, this basically selects the artboard. So let's click that and then go to our background color and just make it 100% black. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take our image, which is on top of our artboard, and we're going to turn the opacity down. You see that? Let's go about 60, do a 60 right there. 61? No, 60. I hate not giving on an even number. All right, cool. So we have our logo here. Maybe we'll make it a little bit bigger. And this could essentially be a background image, or maybe it's a looping video. I've seen a lot of apps that do that. But we're really using this as a way to kind of immerse the user into the vibe of the app. So Immediately, it kind of looks like a cactus app. I know it's silly, but we're kind of playing off this green color, which is cool. But now we want to put some sort of call to action. So when the user gets to this page, this is like the splash. Maybe there's a button that they can kind of get started. So let's go to Insert Shape and go to Rectangle. And we're just going to drag this rectangle at the bottom here and see it kind of snaps to the edge like that. Perfect. We're going to go back to we're going to take the border off. We're going to go to our fills and grab this color again. And this is going to be our button. And what's cool is you can type in your pixel height here. So maybe I just want like a 65 and then move it down. So now we want to add some text for this call to action. So let's go to Insert Text. You can just click on the canvas, and that's way too big. So let's do like a 18 point. And let's put Get Started. And we're just gonna grab this, drag it down. See how these like smart guides kind of happen like Photoshop? It's really nice when you're lining things up because it'll snap the centers. So it's already kind of centered in there for me. So we'll just group these two. If I hold Shift click on both of these, see how it selects both layers? We're gonna right click and we're gonna click, we wanna group these. Group selection. So now it made a new group of these two things. I typically like to do that when I'm in like Photoshop or Illustrator or any really design software, just because you want to organize your files in a way that like when you come back to this file later, it's going to be nice and clean and kind of all layered nicely and labeled. So like maybe another designer has to come into this file and you don't want to have like a messy file. So I'll go ahead and name this. With buttons, I'll do like btn underscore get started. Oh, spelled that wrong. Get started. There, now we know for sure that that's our button. And I can just grab it, move it around, whatever, and it's good to go. So now we have this kind of like splash screen. Maybe I want to move this down. Let's add like a subtext here. So copy this since we already created it. We'll paste. We'll just move this up. Let's see, cacti. What is this thing? Share cacti with your friends. I don't know who would use this, but we're just gonna pretend. It's too small. Let's go to 18. And then I'm just gonna select both of those and just make sure they're aligned. Yeah, it looks like they are. These are your alignment tools up here, so you can kind of like center things and make sure everything's lined up properly. Cool. So we have this little splash screen and kind of a get started call to action. I might actually change the color of this because it kind of vibrates on top of that. Maybe we'll select the same color and just bring it down. Yeah, that seems to work better for me visually. The white was just it was a little hard to see on top of that color. All right, so we have our first screen. We're gonna go ahead and click on our artboard. We're gonna name this splash. All right, now that we've got this splash page design, let's go ahead and just duplicate this and make like an explore or like a home page for our app. Maybe that's where you can kind of find and discover new kind of unique looking cactus with your friends or something. I don't know. That's kind of like the theme that we're going with here. So let's just go ahead and get rid of all this. And let's make our background a nice gray color. And this is where our iOS elements are going to come in handy. So we're just going to come in here and grab this navigation bar, and we're just going to paste it right in there. And just bring it up to the top here. This is actually a symbol, so if we go in here, we can like click this, delete these. And I'll get into symbols in another tutorial, but essentially this has overrides set on it. So if I tweak any of this information here, let's say if I wanted to change a carrier, I could put Cody. That's not Cody, that's Cody. See how it updates it right away? So essentially like this is like a way that you can quickly change things that you've already designed without compromising the design element. So it just changes the information for you. But we're gonna go in here and we're gonna change this background color to our teal color. I'm gonna grab this one and go to our teal color. Cool. And return to instance will take you out of this symbol back into our artboard thing. So again, I know it's a little confusing right now, but In another tutorial, I'll show you what symbols are and kind of get more in depth with that. But let's go back to our artboard and let's put our logo in here. So copy that and paste it in. And let's just shrink this guy down to like 30. And this is kind of like the main home screen. So we want to have our branding kind of present here so people can kind of build some recognition with the brand and just kind of like embed that logo in their head a little bit. So this will always be there. We'll just kind of center it there. Cool. So this is like our navigation bar. Maybe we'll put like a little hamburger icon here actually. Let's just do that really quickly. Let's put a line. And let's make this about 2, maybe 3. Yeah, I'll do 3 and then we'll make this white. And let's just round the ends of this stroke. So we can click on this little gear icon. We'll click ends and we'll make it round. And then I'm just going to duplicate this, bring it down about 7 pixels. Maybe do that again. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to group this selection. We're going to call it ICN menu. And that will be our sort of navigation menu. I might even bring this whole thing down a little bit. Let's see, 25. No, that's 15. 25. There we go. It's a little smaller. Cool. So that's how somebody would get to the menu. Now let's make a card here so that you can kind of scroll through and find some cactus. So let's go to Insert Shape, Rectangle, and I'm just going to drag this kind of card right here. And I'll get rid of this border. We'll make this white. And let's see, Sketch will kind of like, let's see, it'll allow you to kind of position this. Let's do about 18 or 20. 20 looks good. And then we'll just make sure this is aligned by hitting the alignment tool, and it looks like it is. And let's just make this radius to kind of play off this like round logo. We'll just make these corners rounded about 5, maybe 8. Yeah, see how kind of rounded those? That might be too much. Let's go back to like 6. Yeah, 8 was a little aggressive. But yeah, we have this card here now. So what I can do is make this a little bit bigger. And I want to put like a featured hero image here. So like, you know, somebody uploaded a photo and they're showing off their cactus, and maybe you click on this card to learn more information. So let's go to Pexels and grab a cactus image. Let's see, which one's cool? So many to choose from. I think I'll do this one. So let's copy this and let's go back to Sketch. And let's just paste this on. And I know it's huge right now because it's a big image, but if I click both of these, the rectangle and our bitmap, I can hit mask and see how it puts it in like a cookie cutter. We'll just grab our image layer, and just kind of shrink this down. And it's nice and cropped in there. So we'll bring this up. This is our hero image. Cool, now we have this little information area down here that we can put like a title and some descriptive stuff here. So let's put, let's grab this text, copy it, and we'll paste it on top of here. And we'll just make this our darker color. And we're just gonna say rare desert cactus. This probably isn't rare at all, but we'll just pretend it is. We'll left align it. And I always like to, when I'm putting titles in here, I like to kind of shove them in the corner here. I'm gonna hold Shift and go 1, 2, 3. That pushed it 30 pixels to the right. Shift 1, 2, 3 down. So now I know it's 30 pixels from the edge of that. So the spacing's all consistent. I might make this 20 though. Cool. Now I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna drag down with Alt and Shift, and I'm gonna make this a little bit lighter. It's like our subtext. And maybe this is just like the location of where it's being sold. So let's say like North Park. And then we're gonna make this a little bit smaller, maybe like a 16, and probably like a regular weight there. And let's do like 6 pixels away. So this rare desert cactus is for sale in North Park. Not really though. And I'm gonna bring this up a little bit, this card. So I'll select my card and just kind of drag this up. Cool. So now I have this card. Maybe I want to add a feature where somebody could bookmark or save this thing, or maybe like it. I don't know. Because we have this image, if I put an icon on top of here, there's a chance that you wouldn't be able to see this icon if it was a different type of image that was a little bit busier. So I think a way to combat that is if you insert a shape here, do like an oval. We'll make a circle at about like 35 by 35, and we'll make it like a black fill. And I'll put this opacity down to like, I don't know, like 70. Basically what I'm doing is I'm creating a little container for my icon to like sit in, so that I know that it will always be legible no matter what image is behind this. So let's push it over 10 and bring it down 10. And let's go ahead and make a little icon. So we'll go to Insert Vector, and we'll zoom into our circle here. And let's make like a little bookmark icon. So let's just click and drag. Just kind of following. See, it kind of gives you these nice little smart guides when you're doing this too. And then it finds the middle for you. And now we have a little cool icon here. So let's make this a white icon. And if you click on this gear, you get more options. I want to round the edges here. So if I click this little joins, it gives me a nice rounded kind of edge here, so that I kind of match the logo and just everything else we've been doing. And I'm gonna make this about 3 is way too much. 2 seems good. And I'm just gonna center this within that circle. Zoom out and just kind of see how it reads. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, maybe you wanna like you wanna bookmark this cactus. I'm gonna move these back up a little bit. Make sure it's 30 pixels. 1, 2, 3. And I'm gonna group this entire thing, this entire card, so that I can duplicate it. So right click, group selection, and then you have a little eyeball here on the layer so you can turn it on and off. Oh look, I forgot the icon there, so let's make sure I put that in there. And I'm gonna call this card. If you want to get even crazier, you can go into this and make subfolders. So like grab path 2 and oval. That's my icon. I'll right click that, click group selection, and call this ICN bookmark. Group these, right click, group selection, text. Name this image. And then now I have a nice organized group here, and I can just duplicate this, bring it down. And I believe I was 25 from there. What was I? 1, 2. I'll make this 20, yeah. And we'll just change this image just because. So let's go grab this one. This looks like a emo selfie of a cactus. Copy that. Come in here and just delete that. Paste this in. Make sure we put this on top of the mask again, and we'll shrink this guy down. Bring him over. And because we remember that we put it 30 pixels away, we can just put it from the top. 1, 2, 3. And now we have a cool little home screen where you can discover some cactus. Thanks again for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe and bring you some more videos.